What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hack the Box series. Today we are going to be tackling DEVEL, which is another entry-level kind of beginner Hack the Box challenge. If you don't know what Hack the Box is, or if you kind of want an introduction to CTFs in cybersecurity, I will have a link to my intro video in the top right corner. You can go ahead and click that. It's a very quick video. If you'd like to watch episode 1, it's by far the easiest Hack the Box challenge ever. That's where I tackled Lame. I think I released that like a week before this video is going to come out. So you can check out that video as well, but we're going to dive right into DEVEL. As you can see, I've already run the nmap scan because nobody likes sitting there looking at a screen and waiting for nmap to finish scanning. So we're going to go ahead and dive into that. We're going to do more nmap.net. We've got our IP there at the top, 10.10.10.5. Let's go ahead and export that. Right. So it looks like we've got anonymous FTP login. We've got port 80 running HTTP. That's Microsoft IIS. So that's a really good piece of information to know. We're actually going to go ahead and jump right over to that web page if Firefox ever loads. So 10.10.10.5. So we've got IIS open. Doesn't tell us all that much more than we already knew. So let's go ahead and look at that anonymous login. Login with username anonymous, no password. It says that we're running on Windows NT. Now, if you watched the first episode, you know that it said that we had anonymous FTP login and we were able to log in, but we weren't able to do anything with it. So let's see if we can ls. We can ls. So we've got ASP.NET client directory, IIS start.htm. So let's see if we can download any of this stuff. So let's download welcome.png. Oh, it's get welcome.png. Guess there's no tab autocomplete on this. Right, so let's see if that's successfully downloaded. So we've got welcome.png there. Okay, so we've got anonymous login. Let's see if we can actually put any files. So let's just touch test.txt. If you're not familiar, touch just creates a file. It's empty. It doesn't actually put anything into the file. So let's see if we can upload this to the server. You can hear that whining in the background. We've got a little 3-pound kitten just today, and that cat is loud. Okay, so we're going to clear out the screen. Let's do put test.txt. All right, looks like it successfully transferred. Yep, we've got it right there. So we are able to upload files. This is a really great start. Now, there are a lot of different ways that you can continue. There are tons of great reverse shells that you can create. There are, just an absolute litany of different things that you can do with file upload on a web server. We're going to kind of take the quick and easy way by using Meterpreter. It's just kind of the easiest way to get a very high-powered shell on, on a machine that's as easy as this one. So we're going to keep that open. And we're going to use MSF Venom for this. So MSF Venom is a way to create different payloads from the command line without jumping into MSF console. And now that I mentioned that, I am going to go ahead and get MSF console running because we will need it here in a second and it takes a little bit to boot up. So we're going to do MSF Venom. Payload is going to be Windows. We're going to get a Meterpreter reverse shell and it's going to be reverse TCP. The file type is going to be ASPX. That is based on the fact that that's what IIS servers run. That's the kind of scripting language that they run, and Meterpreter has, or MSF Venom has the ability to create ASPX reverse shells. So that's kind of like the best option there. And for that, we're going to go ahead and say lhost equals port equals, we're going to use port 8888. For good luck. Output is going to be rev shell net on port 8888.aspx. This is kind of like, I guess, a weird habit of mine. I like to name my shells that in a way that kind of tells me what kind of shell they are. That way later, if I just have, you know, a directory full of shells, then, you know, I'm not going to get them confused. Let's see what our IP is. 10.10.14.32. So we've got MSF console open. 10.10.14.32. Port quad 8. That's the file type there, and then we've got the output name there. This should be good. So we're going to run over to our MSF console. We're going to use exploit multi-handler. And what this is it's just Metasploit's reverse shell handler. So we're going to set the L port to 8888. We're going to set the L host to 10.10.14.32. Let's make sure that actually set. Sometimes the L host doesn't actually set correctly. Show L host. Okay, well, that's no big deal. Let's run it and see if it runs correctly. I'm hoping it did. 10.10, nope, it didn't. So sometimes you have to set the L host twice, have no idea why, it's super annoying. Yeah, there we go. So now we're actually running on the correct IP, or the correct listening host. We've created our reverse shell there. So we're going to use FTP to put rev shell on the host. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so it closed connection on us. Let's go ahead and reconnect using anonymous, no password, put rev shell. All right, so it should have uploaded. We're going to grab this file name right here. And basically all you've got to do from this point is navigate to the actual reverse shell using your browser. Apparently it tried to grab the browser for me. So we're going to give that a try. And let me, just for demonstration purposes, and let me position the window in a way that you can actually see the handler start, hopefully. And we're going to navigate there. And as you can see, we've got the handler running, and we've got a interpreter shell. We're going to drop into a system shell and run who am I. So we've got user access now. You know, I could go and grab the user flag. Let's see if I can get to it correctly without fat fingering it. May not even have a user flag on this now that I think about it. Let's see. Let's go to public. So I know we'll have access to that. There's no desktop there, so I don't think we'll have a flag there. Babis is another user, no access there. So we're just going to hop into the public directory and go to documents. So the reason why I'm going here is we're going to need to download a couple more things to kind of make our life a little bit easier. Basically, those are going to be scripts that are going to make it easier for us to elevate our privileges. We don't want to stay as user because we currently don't have access to anything and we can't get to the flags or any of the juicy secrets or anything like that. So we can't have that. We've got to, okay, we've got to change our interpreter shell over to cd users public documents, if I can spell it correctly. All right, so currently shouldn't be much in there. Yeah, not much in there at all. So we're in the documents directory. We are an unprivileged user, and we currently have nothing else that we can do. So what we're going to do is we're going to download a tool called Sherlock, and that is a tool that's used for basically for escalating privileges or finding out different vulnerabilities in a machine that can be used to elevate privileges. So we're going to search for Sherlock. Not the TV series, unfortunately. We are looking for PowerShell. So Sherlock is a PowerShell script that's used for finding local privilege escalation vulnerabilities. So these are all of the different vulnerabilities that I'll actually grab. Basically, it's just a great way to automate finding these local privilege escalation vulnerabilities. And what those vulnerabilities do is they allow you to go from an unprivileged user to administrator to at least a user with higher level access. So we're going to grab this offline. And the unfortunate part is we're not going to be able to grab it straight to the machine. I think it's raw.github. Is that how you do it? Oh no, you have to actually go to the script. All right, there's the raw file. So we're going to go ahead and grab this to our local machine. Because of the way that these challenges are set up, you can't necessarily just grab it straight to the machine, the target machine, that is. You actually have to grab it and put it on your attacking machine in order to make it work. That's basically because the way the VPN is set up, the VPN machines can't actually talk to the internet at large. So they can only talk to other machines on the VPN, which includes the attacking machine. So we're going to have to make dir web serve. We're going to change that directory. We're going to grab Sherlock. And we're going to have to do a little bit of PowerShell foo. And I'm not going to even pretend like what I'm doing here in a second is something that I know by heart. It's something that I've got copied into my notes because it's actually a command that you'll have to run relatively often, and in a situation that you're going to have to run into relatively often is using PowerShell to download files using the command line, which, I don't know PowerShell at all. We're gonna have to use 1337 for even more good luck. So we've opened up a web server on our attacking machine. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to use PowerShell on the victim machine to grab this file off of our attacking machine. And like I said, I've got this copied over into my notes. So we're going to do cp it's tools, and it's PowerShell getter. Cat PowerShell getter. All right, so nano, we're going to change this up and include the actual address. So our URL is going to be all right, so I had to fix up the command that I had to run to pull Sherlock down and run it. But now, nano PowerShell getter. So we're going to replace it with our p colon / this time, 10, 10, 14, 32 on port 1337, not 6, Sherlock.ps1. And the command that we're going to be running is find -all vulns. We're going to pipe that out to Sherlock.text. All right, and now we should be good. So this is going to be the command that we're running. Let's see if we can get it this time. It's looking more promising. Right. Okay, so we created the text file. Looks like it's not empty. Okay, so we actually have it now. So we're going to back out into Meterpreter, download. Downloaded it. So let's take a walk through Sherlock. All right, so these are all of the different potential exploits that we could try to run in order to escalate our privileges here. And there's one in particular that I've used before. Here it is right here. So it's saying that it appears like it's vulnerable to 1551. 1551 is a very dependable Metasploit local privilege escalation. So we're going to give that a try first and hope that it actually works. So we're going to background our interpreter session. We're going to search for MS15. I think it's 51. So 015. 051. There we go. All right, so here it is right here. It's saying it's normal. We're going to copy this over. I've found pretty good success with this LPE. Use that exploit and show our options. Set session to, I think it's, let me make sure. Session 1, set. And that means that it's going to use our already existing session to run this exploit. It's not going to search for any other kind of, any other target. And we're going to set lhost to 10, 10, 14, 32. I'm going to run it one more time just to make sure. Set lport. We're going to run it on 1338. And let's give it a try. All right, so it started the handler on the wrong one again, which is interesting. Now we're on the right one. Right, and we should be good. Let's see, let's drop in the shell. Who am I? And we've got system. So now just to kind of finish up, if I can type in the command line correctly, cd to users, cd administrator. We're going to drop in the desktop where most of the time the flag is. And we've got root.text.text. So let's go ahead and type root.text.text. And we've got our flag. So just to kind of recap, what we did was we exploited anonymous FTP in order to upload a reverse shell. What a reverse shell is it just runs the command on the victim server in order to make it call back to our machine. It called back to our interpreter handler that handled the session after that, allowed us to run all of these cool commands. We then used that very unprivileged session to upload Sherlock using a PowerShell command that took me forever to debug. And we used that Sherlock command or that Sherlock script to show us what different local privilege escalation vulnerabilities there were. I found one that I've found a lot of success with in the past and used MS1551 in order to escalate to administrator privileges. Thank you guys for sticking through this. I know it was a lot of really dumb debugging PowerShell commands and probably could have cleaned that up a little bit more, but I hope you were able to learn something from this. I'll actually probably include the final PowerShell command that I used in the description just to kind of help out, and I'll annotate it within the video editing as well. Like I said, thank you guys. If you like this kind of content, Hack the Box is something that I have a lot of fun with. So make sure you subscribe and you'll know when I upload again. And just let me know in the comment section if there's anything that you'd want me to change or anything that you'd like to see in the future. Thank you guys.